Welcome to the show. I'm excited to share this podcast episode with Blaire Lomett-Mathias because as we're walking to the studio to get ready for the podcast, we start a deep conversation early. And when we sit down, we're mid-conversation. So I decided to push record, and I'm glad I did because there's value on top of value on top of value to be served here. And I hope that you guys enjoy this episode as much as I did.
What up, it's your boy Stefan with the Master of Me podcast. Master of Me?
Hey, my man.
What do you mean master? How do you become master of anything? You tell me. You focus all of your energy on one thing.
One thing, man.
You don't have to do it angrily. You don't have to do it. You do it through love.
Right.
But there's also some things that I was like, you always bring it back to like David, right? You're like, oh yeah, but David did this and David did this, so everything should be fine.
Right.
And God was like, is it? Like, is it? Like if you're going to be a value of me, if you're going to be talking about me, I'm not talking about the nonprofits. I'm not talking about real estate. I'm talking about when you bring my name up, are you clear with what my word is and not changing it and or making it softer or making it, what it pleases the people. And I was like, no, I'm not there yet. And he's like, okay, well, when you're there, that's when you get to talk about it. And I was like, ooh, okay.
That's a tough place because I feel like I've been waiting for the right time or trying to like force it or line it up right. And me changing the definition of like what happy means.
Yeah.
And right now, the season that I'm in is I feel happier when I do harder things during the day. So during the day, I might not like look extremely happy or a certain thing because I'm in it.
You're determined.
Right. But then when I go to bed at night, I feel better. And I've been thinking about that, like when I die, not when I want to die, but when I die.
We are.
Am I going to wait for that last moment and hope I feel happy?
Yeah. Job well done.
Right. Or like the regret can still come at the end. And I felt like I just had this happy life through the whole thing, and then I had all these regrets. Or pour it all out.
Yeah.
Die with the gas tank on E.
Yeah.
And see what that feels like. That, like, intuitively feels better to me right now. It's like, all right, I'm just going to push, do all these uncomfortable things.
Yeah.
And when I get to that place, I'll just be so exhausted, I won't even have time to think about it.
Yeah. I mean, there's time in the rest, too, right? And I think what I'm learning is like being still because we are goers, and I think it's good that we're constantly moving and grooving and doing all the things that we need to. But then when you have that moment of rest, like you're like, okay, this is when I need you to speak to me and like guide me and like, am I doing this right? Yes. He's blessing it, right? Like, and as long as you're like seeing that it's being blessed,
Right.
I mean, that can only come from him.
Right. I'm experiencing that right now with like fitness.
Yeah.
Like there's weird places where I like the way that it feels. Like that even when my energy gets high and like I just feel like a dog sometimes. Like it brings this like this animalistic type like nature out. Like when I do something when I'm working out and I do something that like I
Old
think I
athletic
could do
ability.
Something like that comes out. But then there's times where God will like sit me down and he's like, you need to chill right now.
Yeah.
And before I'm like, no, I gotta keep going.
Yeah.
But then like those were times where I would lead into like places where I get my body hurt or something like that, or super exhausted to where it affects other parts of my day.
Yeah.
So right now I'm taking it as it goes, listening a lot more, and then moving into what is the purpose why I'm doing it for. I like the endorphins or dopamine or whatever comes at the end of that.
Yeah.
I feel connected. I feel like a human. I feel connected to God. Like I'm listening a lot more. I'm open.
I love that.
And I'm okay if that I'm going to get that through a 2-mile run or a 2-mile run walk, like without needing to max out what I can do. And if me processing or connecting to God or opening up my mind so I can listen to these things coming in is coming from running, then I'm okay with switching it up.
Yeah.
And just being okay with, hey,
like listening.
I'm moving. I know that this is important because I've been in places where I didn't move my body and I felt tense. I felt tight. I felt bottled up. And when I can release it, I feel like, all right, now I have room to listen versus holding it all in. It's like I can't take anything more in. right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so with the running, releasing that, connecting to God, like I can move into the next part of my day of like, all right, that's the answer.
I love that. Running, I think, is like the best way to like talk to God. I can't run anymore because I had such a bad knee injury.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no cartilage left in my knee.
Mm.
But I miss those days. Like
Right.
I would just be like talking to him. Now I just talk to him 24/7. But like in working out now, I just started back up.
Right.
And I hate it with a passion.
I think it's a beautiful thing though.
My trainer, I'm like, I hate this, every bit of it. But I just stare at her body. I'm like, I just think you're perfect. So I'll keep, or sometimes when I'm doing something really
Right.
hard, I'm like, carry the cross, carry
Right.
the cross. Like, you know, this is so much more difficult. Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing it for? So I say that a lot to me, like I'm doing like a super heavy squat or I'm doing something that I don't want to do.
Right.
I'm like, carry the cross, you
Right.
know? And it sounds stupid because it's not like I'm, you know, dying for anything, but it's just that discipline through it.
It is. There's something about it, no
Yeah.
matter where it comes from. And I don't think we're supposed to just be in love with it. I
No.
think we're just supposed to like try to meet that failure place
Yeah.
and then push through it. Like that's where the actual growth is.
Oh, totally.
And like that is an ongoing, like I can portray however I want
Yeah.
online or whatever it is that I like that kind of stuff. I
Yeah.
don't. There are reminders when I go back and see that stuff that I did hard things before and I could do them again. Because
Yeah.
every morning when I wake up and it's time to go, that all crosses my mind. Like, nope, not today.
Yeah.
Not today. And I have to remind myself that when I get through it, I remember how I felt when that was done and that was done.
It's so nice when you get through it.
I know. It is it, but there's so much more with it too. Like
Yeah.
with eating and
Mental clarity, all
we were
of
kind
it.
of talking about like the world and what's being fed to us, I would say, and
yeah.
what we believe or think is okay.
Mm-hmm.
And like we have this at home where like my daughters are so young, and between my wife, like she'll hear how I'm saying something,
Mm-hmm.
and then I can see her like questioning it in her head. So I stopped to think about like, all right, my goal is not to body shame.
Yeah.
My goal is to just pay attention to our portions because
Mm-hmm.
I've lived through eating for being afraid, eating
Mm-hmm.
for every time I got nervous or something like it. The habits
Emotional
were different,
eating.
100%.
Yeah.
And now with the girls, like I'm just paying attention to if we're hungry
Yeah.
and just questioning why they want to eat.
Yeah.
And then they think about it and they think, well, maybe I'm not hungry, or maybe I can get an apple.
Yeah.
Versus like the pantry snack or something like that. But going back into like the world and stuff, like I don't know, I've kind of heard that they make certain like sugars and stuff like that to kind of slow us down from connecting. Like they say that we can connect to God through like a pineal gland or something like that. Like
Yeah.
your like the way that like where the dopamine goes and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like, but the sugars will block it. And so if we
Makes
get caught
sense.
up like eating certain stuff, then we feel groggy and we never get to a place where we can connect to God.
Mm-hmm. That's why fasting is so important,
100%. That's
which I just learned this year.
fasting.
Yeah.
I've only done a 2-day fast where I had water and
Yeah.
that was interesting. Like that was luckily I was in a structured environment where like we had a tent and there was 85 other guys there and
Oh, wow.
everybody had their own tent and we were all portioned like a half a mile away from each other.
Oh.
And you just have to like be with your thoughts.
Yeah.
And you really like start to single out what's important, what's not important. Like where's it coming from?
That's cool.
Like thinking about what you're thinking about and why you're even thinking about that.
Yeah.
And then just figuring out like, and that's all that clarity came from not having any of the extra distractions of
Mhm.
what to eat or like, it's crazy that I feel like we prioritize eating.
Oh, yeah.
At least in my household, like it's a thing. Like we want
I'm
to go
Italian.
eat. Yeah.
Of course it's a priority.
Right.
I grew up with a grandma or a nunny
Right.
that would be like, you better finish that plate.
100%. 100%.
And every time you say,
It's
do
like
you want
respect.
a sandwich? Oh, yeah.
Right.
It was like respect. Like you ate
Right.
all of it.
To show her it was good.
Yeah.
So you enjoyed it.
For sure.
Yeah, it's a toughie.
It's everywhere. It's social aspect.
100%.
It's, you know, how you show love, how you, like when you're grieving, it's food.
Mm.
Like look at every single weddings, celebrations, you know, it's all about the food.
Right.
So, I mean,
I want to jump in here and plug myself in for the time, effort, energy that it takes to put this podcast together so that we can all grow and learn from the people on these episodes. it's all provided by my mortgage business. I am a loan officer. I run the Home Run home loan team. And what we look for are people looking to buy houses, people that need education, information on home buying in general, whether you own a home or this is the first time you're buying a home. We want to be able to provide information for you, guide you, and coach you through the process of purchasing a home, one step at a time. So if this resonates with you or you have anybody in mind, please share so that way we can continue to buy the time, I will say, to pour this valuable, needed, much needed information into humanity. Now back to the show. It's awareness, I think. I mean, you can do anything at the same time, just being aware of
How you feed your temple.
right, how far is too far, and when it's time to bring it back. And
Yeah.
I think for me the hardest part is just the discipline. Like, I'm such a rebel in where it came from in my life, but I have to remember that I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I'm the guy that looks myself in the mirror, and I'm the only one who's going to push myself
Yeah.
to do it. So it's conversations with myself that I also have to remind myself, like, how I'm communicating. Because
Yeah.
if I'm doing it from like an authoritative, like, drill sergeant, sometimes that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Versus changing the way, like, I would talk to my kid, like, coming from like, are you hungry right now?
Yeah.
Like, let's play that route, and then see where it's coming from. And if you're not, if you're nervous, like, let's just cross that bridge. If you're afraid of something, let's just do that hard thing.
Yeah.
And then see if you're hungry.
I love that. It's a way we talk to ourselves is important.
I believe it. I
Yeah.
believe it. Ladies and gentlemen, the Master of Me podcast, we have this thing running right now. Right now.
I know we got right into it.
We did. We got in here and we just started talking, and little by little the cameras turned on and we started rolling. And here we are.
Here we are.
Mid deep in like just a life conversation. I think if you can pour it out, Blaire it out in 15 minutes of life, like, what are you going to share? Like, what do you have? Like, so I have Blaire in front of me. Blaire. Say
Hi.
hello.
Hi, everyone. So I'm excited to be here. I know, connected with you right away, just having those real deep, real life conversations.
Right.
No fluff.
100%. I think that's important, is like finding a way to like not put up walls, but then not also need to jump over walls to get to somebody. Like, if you can just connect quicker, then you can get straight to it and let the work be the work.
I think vulnerability without deception is so powerful. And because I think sometimes we can use vulnerability as a way to manipulate others, and because you're still trying to control how you come across as vulnerable. And I think if you're true, like 100% yourself, 100% talking about what you struggle with, and be real with people, people connect with that, because everyone's got a struggle.
Right.
Life is not perfect.
Man, that is deep, because I've heard that. This is the second time, and maybe I'm internalizing it a certain way, but that I've heard that before, where like a person can find out what, or maybe even know from Facebook or something like that, like what's going on in your life, and then they'll ask questions on it, see if everything's okay, and kind of like get to your place.
Yeah.
But then have an ask at the end of it, or have something at the end of it. And it's like, hold on, did you just kind of like use my father's passing or whatever's going on? Like, to
bring it back to them.
To bring it back to them.
Well, I think we're selfish and selfless by nature, depending on the situation. And I think those are things that we have to like grow and learn. And, depending on who you are and what you believe in, that's going to be kind of your path.
Right.
And I think we have to change the way we look at people of what they bring to our table.
Right.
We're in a very much of a, the world we live in, it's very much all about you. Like, do you, look at all the sayings that you see, it's all about you. It's your time, forget anybody else, put your boundaries up, set yourself up for a higher goal. It's just all about selfishness, like all about self, right? And what I've noticed is what we have kind of stirred away from, I am starting to see it come back, is what can you give to others without anything? That's what a true gift is. Is it's unconditional. I'm gonna give this to you and I not want anything back.
Right.
And I think sometimes we have a hard time taking that, right? There's also that other part of the conversation where like, okay, you're giving this to me, but what is it? What are your intentions?
Right.
What do you want from me in return? And when you have the purest intentions, you're like, I don't want anything in return. I just want to give you a gift.
Right.
And we don't know how to take it.
Right.
We're just waiting for when are you going to ask me for that?
So conditioned already to someone already working a scenario, a situation for them.
And social media is fake everywhere, all around the board. I used to do radio for a really long time, was on a radio show, and even that was fake. It was edited. You know, we were doing prank calls and podcast calls, and these were all, or not podcast wasn't around back then. But we would do all of these, you know, bits.
Right.
It's all fake.
Right.
You know, being into the reality world of seeing how they would set things up.
Right.
It's all fake. And we want to say it's real, but it's not. And so we're constantly putting our best self on a platform.
Right.
But is your best self real? And how vulnerable do you get?
Right.
Because then people are like, oh, you're asking for attention or you're asking for sympathy. And then we want to turn it when they are vulnerable.
Right.
So is that a, you know, product of misplacement or judgment or something that we're seeing in others that we're doing ourselves? It depends on the creator, I guess.
Right. That's probably the toughest for me, is seeing what's real and not real. And it's not like it's hard to decipher. It's more of it's tough to see that when you think a person's being authentic.
Yeah.
And then you see that it's not. And it's like, man, it goes back to messing with like your trust. Because like, what can you trust? And you start to question that. And it's like, man, I thought that person was coming from a place, but now it seems like that's what's going on right now. And they're just going with the flow of what's working.
Yeah. And it could be both, right? It could be that they came in with the best intention.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, you know, it's steered to a different direction, or they saw an opportunity.
Right.
And then wanted to, you know, jump on it.
Yeah, that's got to be tough on how to stay pure from start to finish. Like if you pray for anything, like that is like
it's Bible.
Keep me locked in on why I started this in the first place or what mission I got on. Because
your gifts are going to be something that was given to you by God.
Right.
And the enemy is going to want to, you know, corrupt it.
Jump in that.
Absolutely.
Right.
Like look at music. Right?
Right.
Music is some of the most beautiful thing that you could ever listen to, catchiest tunes, something that can get stuck in your head all day. But where are the lyrics? What are you listening to? What are you manifesting in your head unaware? And that's how the enemy can come in and just change it just by simple lyrics or a song or a note.
Right.
And so remember, anything that is blessed, the enemy is going to want to take.
100%.
And I think it's something that we have to be aware, and you got to read. Like, I'm a believer.
Right.
I know you're a believer.
Right.
So to me, if you have a question, you got to read the manual. You got to read the book.
Right.
And say, what is God saying about this? What is the fruit of this person producing? Because yes, they might look beautiful and shiny and everything enchanting.
Right.
But are they going to poison me or are they going to grow me? And that may not even be the person. It just may be you and that other person's spirits don't align.
Right.
Or there's something there that you're like, okay, I can pray for you, but I can't be involved with you.
That is so much around that.
Yeah.
Because some of those people are your friends. They have your same last name. And like as much as you care, especially coming from like a thick bloodline like yours will be with Italian, mine is Spaniard, like so much pride. And but at the same time, like focusing on continuing to do good versus something that can pull away from your heart. And you know when you make decisions, if it's coming from a like true place of your alignment or not. And
you know,
100%.
you feel it. You feel that discernment. And then you have to question it too. Is this coming from a trauma?
Right.
Is this a trauma response? Or is this actually the discernment from the Holy Spirit telling you, hey, this is not for you. It's not necessarily this person, but this is not for you.
Right.
And sometimes we want to take it so personal.
Right.
But maybe it's just a protective.
Right. I think that's what I'm working on the most right now is from trauma responses in my life, the decisions that I make that I already put my word out and said I'll do, like still following through on those because I said I wasn't going to do them, and they're not bad. They're just not coming from a true place of where I wanted to. But also determining now like where it came from and how to prevent that, because when the question comes up, I get asked, instead of me feeling like the old story that came up where I stood up for somebody and then the people I love left me, thinking that that person's going to leave me because I stand up. Like, I have to know in that moment that I can come from true place of love and speak whatever's on my heart, whether it's a hard yes or a hard no, and be okay with whether they stick around or not.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to have to just trust that concept that, like, man, I know everything was going good, but
It's
now
scary.
we're at this new place,
Yeah.
and it feels weird. Like, even talking about it, my chest is getting a little tight, and it's just because there's always those bridges that come every single day. Like, how many people are on the phone or in front of you, and I'll speak from, like, I don't want to put that on other people. It's my thing.
Yeah.
That it'll feel uncomfortable to have that conversation, but I know that how I have that conversation is going to either help me or hurt me. And if it hurts me, like, who am I going to pass that down to? And what am I going to teach my kids to say yes to things because they're bosses or they're authorities or whatever they are. And they're going to either follow the path or continue what they're doing now. Like, I have these strong women at home that, like, call it as they see it.
Yeah.
And they come from a place of, like, purity. And I still have that with them right now. So I'm trying to cherish every moment of it and not be the person who breaks it, because a lot of times, like, it could be parents who shape the way you believe things in
totally.
life. And they're just doing things from
Experience.
their experience because they touched the fire and the fire burnt. Versus, like, now you don't touch fire, but sometimes you got to go through the fire to get to the other side.
Totally. And a lot of what we react to is our trauma response.
100%.
A lot of us have had, childhood trauma, relationship trauma, school trauma, education trauma, you name it, just physical trauma. We have so much.
Right.
And you got to get into the healing.
Right.
And not bleed on others.
Right.
And not always look at that the other person's the enemy.
Right.
You've got to have your compass, your solid people around you, which is, the women in your life.
Right.
And you've got to have God. I mean, for the ones that don't believe, that's whatever you believe in, that's on you. For me, I could not live this life without having my faith. I've been, I've grown up with abuse. I've dealt with trauma. I've had traumatic relationship experiences, and I bled out on a lot of people. I boundaried up real quick, and I just kind of had this, like, hand up. Like, I was always there for everyone, and I was always giving to everyone, but it was like, I'm just going to give, but then I'm going to go out. Like, here, you can have me for this little bit, and then I'm out.
Right.
I'm not going to build these deep relationships.
Right.
It's kind of just
pain
like,
that
yeah,
comes.
it's just like this little, like, fairy that kind of came around and sprinkled dust, but then I'm like, I'm out if you want a real relationship, if you want to get real deep.
Right.
Just from trauma, just from hurt. And then I started just diving into therapy and diving into my Bible and just asking him, because it's hard. Forgiveness is hard.
Right.
Forgiveness for yourself is hard.
100%.
It's not easy. People are like, well, you got to forgive, or, it's forgiveness for yourself and not for others. Well, yeah, but how do you do it? Because it's taking control and capture your thoughts. Like, you have to captivate those thoughts. What you think is what you become.
Right.
It's very, very powerful, your mind. And so when you start to read and you're filling your mind and your bubble with positivity, education, realizing what your triggers are and why you're triggered, and then how to undo those triggers.
Right.
It takes a lot of work.
I think that's the biggest slap in the face, is that it's your responsibility to undo those triggers, not where they came from, not the relationships, not your parents, not your teachers. It is your responsibility as an adult with the full-grown brain right now to make new meanings of what those events meant in your life.
Absolutely.
And then use them for them. Like, God wouldn't even bring them to you in your life. Why would he just let somebody hurt you for the sake of hurting you? It is to show you, so that way you can use this for the next time and what we're doing now for others.
And I tell people all the time, like, you're allowed to question God. You can say why.
Right.
It doesn't mean that your faith is lacking.
Right.
I ask God why all the time. But then are you sitting back and listening to what you came through, what you learned, how you can change, how you can break those generational curses, the things that you did not like growing up and what you thought that your parents should have done, or what another spouse should have done, or what your friends should have done. Are you doing them?
Right.
Are you stepping into that role that you wish you had? And if you don't, then really you're just going into this repetitive pattern of these circles and nobody's healing really anyone. You're just avoiding. And I think it goes with work.
Right.
It goes with relationships. It goes with how you just live your life of what is your intention and what is it that you really your goal in this world.
It's deep. And I think, like you said, like the enemy's always going to find a way to get back in. And like yesterday, someone mentioned that, like, oh, that person does talking about me. Like they do this and they do that and they do that. But it sounded facetious, like the way that it came out. And opposed to getting offended, I thought about it and I was like, well, that person kind of does the same thing that I do. And I think it's coming from a place of not doing what they want to do, because I know that they want to do more of it, but at the same time they're not. And that I know what that feels like.
Yep.
I experience that when I'm not giving it, or I'm letting my fears be bigger than me.
Yeah.
That's when I start to feel that way, or I'm knocking other people down to try to feel better. But really, it's a look in the mirror of, am I fulfilling my stuff? And if I'm doing my stuff, I got nothing bad to say. Like, you should only be bringing value at that point. And I think that we talked about that in the beginning of how do you bring service, be of service all the time with giving unconditionally. And it's coming from a place of filling up your cup so high that you just have an abundance to keep flowing over, which means the hard part, doing your self-work.
Oh, yeah.
Every single day.
Self-work
coming to God
is crazy.
every single day. Like, it's not easy. And I think that's what's discouraging about it, is that, man, I wake up, read the Bible, like pray, go into even like other books that I know that are also aligned with God, but then are like deep thinker type books that I can understand sometimes. Like, and I try to make meaning of both, of like, all right, what did I get through the Spirit in my reading first, and then what am I getting through words that I understand right now a lot more? Because the Bible's like that. I read the old King James version, and deciphering words can be tough. I pray every time I go in there that I can soak in what's coming to me.
Yeah.
And if it gets super hard, I'll just start at Psalms and just start reading through Psalms, because the chapters are short.
Yeah.
And focusing on that one.
Like James, if you want to read something that's short, good, to the point, go to James. It's like
small,
it's
easy,
like 6 chapters.
100%. Like, what can I focus on a little bit at a time?
Yeah.
And just get this down before I can be blessed. And that happens where I'm seeing what's on my plate, how I'm handling it. And it's like, all right, that's why God is not giving me more, is because I'm full with this right now. And in order for me to keep going or growing, I have to find solutions on how to get this stuff out faster, or a new system that's going to work, so that way I can produce it quicker. Like,
Totally.
And like, even with the podcast or something, like, it shouldn't take a week. Like, I should be able to figure it out. And it starts opening up. Like, through every single time, the new window opens up, and I can go through the new window of like, all right, that was quicker. That was quicker. That was quicker.
Go. Always learning.
100%. I think that's it. Like, God is an acronym. I took a deep breath, because it's on my heart. I've been in this like mindset for like the past 2 years of it. It's just what God brought to me, is that, to keep it simple, it's you're growing or dying. And if I stay in growth, then everything that happens for me is for me to grow, versus to me. And it's poor me, and then I'm questioning, and then I'm at this place of all this stuff happening to me. It's everything that pops up is for me to grow from. And if I just stay focused on the G, then I'm growing, and that's okay. It's okay.
And the enemy is very witty. And the spirit of offense is a real thing.
Right.
And sometimes I had to really pray, realize I kind of got bitter.
Right.
I was just, it was called protecting yourself, right? I'm setting boundaries.
Right. Big shield, big sword.
Shield. And then I would get offended. I would get offended what I read in the Bible. I got offended by what other people said. I just was offended.
Right.
And then I realized it was a chain that I needed to break. And I see it even in my sons. And I'm like, okay, we got to pray against this power of offense. And also, he's very witty about distraction, keeping you busy. Be busy, busy, busy. That's what this world's motto is. Be busy. If you're not busy, you're dead, right? But sometimes it's in the still. It's slowing down. It's not being so busy that you're distracted, because the word has to come first in your life.
Right.
I mean, I know that this isn't like a biblical podcast or anything like that, but I do know that we're both believers. And I used to not believe that the word was not a breath of life. Like I did not believe that the word was living. I just thought it was like a book, of these people just writing these stories over and over again about a man who died on the cross for my sins.
Right.
And then I started breaking it down and praying before I read. And I realized what the gift was, that we literally have been given this amazing gift that nobody would do.
Right.
Nobody would do.
Right.
Like, would you sacrifice your son? Would you sacrifice your life for a bunch of strangers that didn't deserve it? Murderers, rapists, like the most horrible of the horrible.
Spitting on you on the way you're sacrificing your life.
And people don't even realize what the death was.
Right.
This was brutal. It was the Romans did one thing well, and it was crucifixion.
Right.
And they actually got it from the Persians. They, adapted. And I mean, this was horrible. I mean, this cross and what he had to carry and how his spine was open, and that you couldn't tell if he was male or female at the end. His face was so beaten. And when they said that he came back to the disciples and they didn't understand or didn't see him, they didn't recognize him, they said it's because he still wore the scars. That's what they interpret, because they're like, that's why he showed the scars in his arms. And it's so crazy if you really get into what that death looked like. And then there was 3 days where he was completely separated from God, his maker, his creator, his father.
Right.
I mean, separated. He was fighting something to be completely separated from God, who is just pure light. And it goes so deeper than what we want to get into of what that sacrifice was. And when I start to realize it and realize, oh my gosh, he did that for me.
Right.
I'm not worthy.
Right.
And then you start to kind of go into like what the enemy does well is then deprecation.
Right.
I'm not worthy to do this. I want to stay humble. And then we start to bring ourselves down. And that's not what God wants you either.
Right.
He's like, no, you're a king.
Right.
You're a king and you're a queen.
Right.
And you're in my word. So when you're fighting this fight in life, I'm going to give you this manual to read to basically help you, give you the eyes and ears and spirit of me to be able to decipher, to know what you want to do and grow.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Literally.
Jesus.
That is, it's a lot to take on.
Oh, totally.
Because is it even about me anymore then?
Not
if
really.
He did all the suffering for me and I'm crying about how I feel, the way that someone might say something, or because people do say things. And like, could you imagine how many voices he heard or what stuff was going on during that? Like
all the time.
And
they kept wanting to make him king. He was like, I don't want to be king. I want to just like, you go, like when they went on to follow him, he's like, no, I'm sorry, you're not going to follow me, but you're going to go and spread what I did in your own town.
Right.
Like he was as humble as you got, but he also was this is what is right and this is what is wrong. Go and sin no more.
Right. That's what I'm holding on to right now, is not trying to be the center of anything other than the bridge. Like,
that's amazing.
I know a way. This is a way. A way closer, and you're on your own journey.
Yeah.
Like you figure that out. Whatever you get from what you talked about as being the gifts, like use that.
Oh, you've got so many gifts, and sometimes you want to humble it. You're like, I feel like I shouldn't be here, or I feel like I'm just, who am I?
Right.
You start to question all these things. That's so the enemy. He's going to whisper, because if you are not getting attacked, you are not doing God's word. You're not doing your job. If it's safe and feels good, you're not growing. And when you grow, you all of a sudden have these strings kind of holding you down.
Right.
And it's up to you to decipher, is this God kind of telling me to slow down? Or is this the enemy saying, I don't want you in this atmosphere. I don't want you in this place. You're too influential and I don't like it.
100%.
Because that's what he does. He's going to, demons know who Jesus is. They know his name. They've talked about it multiple times in the Bible. They know who he is. So if they know who he is, then you should know who he is as well.
100%. I think like what's on my heart, what I'm feeling right now is like being okay with being against that voice versus being the peacemaker of like going back to the traumas and not trying to offend people or make like, I gotta be okay with saying hard no's in that and standing my ground.
Pray for favor.
100%.
You pray for favor and you ask, and that's what's going to guide you, give me the guidance and the words to do this lovingly. It's so, I was a people pleaser for a very long time. It was one of my worst and best traits. And I did it. I'm like, oh, but I'm a people pleaser. I love that. And then all of a sudden I was realizing people are using it in a bad way.
Right.
I'm like, why is it being used in a bad way? And then I realized if you please all, you please none.
Right.
And so how do you have your boundaries, set them, but do them lovingly?
Right.
Like, I don't drink anymore. I don't know if that's something I'm going to ever do again. I don't know. I just have been called not to do it. And it's okay if somebody comes up to me and is like, oh, you're so much more fun when you drink.
100%.
Cool. That's great.
Right.
I'm still fun. I'm not sitting here moping like, oh, I can't drink. I just choose not to.
Right.
I just don't want to right now. I'm still a great time.
Right.
And if I feel like it's not the atmosphere that I want to be in, then I leave. And it's okay. I'm allowed to.
Right.
I'm a big girl. I can handle it. And if there's certain things that you dealing with real estate, right? We have a lot of no's that we have to say. There's a lot of negotiations that have to be done. There's a lot of like, hey, you're going to come at me this way and I'm going to have to come at you this way because your biggest protection is your client.
Right.
And you have to serve that client.
Right.
So if we're looking at this in a world and you're protecting your client and I'm coming at you with a negotiation that is not good for your client does not want, are you going to people please and tell me, yeah, when your client's saying no? So right there is a strict boundary. You've got to put your client first,
right?
Just like we have to do with Jesus's word. So if it is going against him, if it's going against something that is going to break you, make you struggle in a bad way that God is not actually wanting to do, then stay firm. And by staying firm, you can ask for favor and say, hey, this is really hard for me. I really don't want to lose this person. I love them. So can you give me favor with this conversation? It's amazing how the conversation sometimes can go. And if it does and those people leave, it's okay. They're there for a season.
Right.
You can love them still. That hurt can be there. I've lost friends, best friends, that I thought would never leave me.
Right.
And they left. And I didn't understand why. Because I didn't do anything wrong. I asked him to explain to me why, but God removed them. I didn't see the why until years later, that I would have kind of been stuck and I wouldn't have grown to that next level with them. And I kind of put them before my family. My friends were my everything. Right. And so God was like, sorry, I got somewhere for you to go and they can't come with right now. And that hurts sometimes. And same with family. I had to put boundaries down. I wasn't going to get in the middle of the drama. I've already done my forgiveness. I've already done my healing. So I'm here to be a standby and be a person that you guys can both go to and soundboard. But the moment you start to bring me in, I'm going to say, no, you guys got to work this on your own. I love you both. You don't always have to be on one side or the other. Yeah. And you can stay firm in those boundaries when you have God behind you. And that's, I think, the most important thing.
Man, it's so real. Like it happens.
Life is hard. It's going to get harder. The closer you get, it's going to get harder. There is no word in the Bible that says life is easier when you get to know me. Right. You got to finish well.
You pray to get stronger.
You pray to get stronger. You pray for, everyone says don't pray for patience. That's kind of like the Christian joke, because he will give you patience. Right. But I pray for wisdom, constant wisdom, discernment, guidance, to have ears and eyes to hear and see, just to be able to be a presence for him, because I believe that nothing we do really in this world matters besides if you do not have him backing it. And that's just because I have grown so much in my faith. I love everyone. You're never going to see me on a corner pointing fingers and being like, you're going to hell. That's never going to be it. Okay. I love you. Like I love people. God's given that on my heart. But right now I'm in such like a growth of what God's calling me to do. And I think it's about love, like how much, he loved women. I know so many people think about the Bible as misogynist. I'm like, oh, no, it wasn't. He was talking to women when nobody would. Right. The woman who was bleeding out, she was called uncleansed, like she was unclean. Nobody would touch her. Right. She wasn't even allowed to step foot in the temple. She wasn't allowed to be out. If a man had touched her, it would be criminal. And yet she just needed to touch him. She needed to reach out and just touch a little piece of his clothing, and she was healed. His longest conversation in the book is with the woman at the well, like loves women. Women were the first people to see him when his body came from the tomb. Right. So just because their stories and their names aren't said in the Bible doesn't mean that they were not important. And he loves women. He loves everybody.
Right.
But I just feel, he's got a special heart for women.
That's and it's powerful, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the way a woman can use their words. Like,
Oh, yeah.
even in a podcast now, like just talking to you now, like it can connect differently than it could from anybody else in the world. But like God will use you through
I
that.
think he
like,
can use us all.
your voice, your connection, the way that you can get there quick, like, and it's absorbed faster than going back to like the walls and all the
Yeah.
bricks. Like, all right, there's a reason why, like men need their mother or
Oh,
something,
yeah.
like when they first start, and it's that kind of feeling where
Men should not be alone. That's
I'm
why he
open.
created
Yeah,
women,
100%. 100%. I think that's it's important. I think you talked about this not being a God podcast, but it is
Yeah.
the foundation of it is the 6 F's to success, I call them. And it's faith, family, fitness, finance, future, and fun. Like those, if I
love
can
that.
focus in those areas,
Yeah.
then whatever happens. Like I won't feel like I am doing wrong at
No.
that point. Like if we're talking in those realms of life, then it is what it is.
Well, these are the real conversations, right? These are the conversations that I think people want to hear and want to know, that you're not alone,
Right.
that there is in the struggle. Just because you are a believer doesn't mean it's easy.
Right.
I mean, I have a women's group that we meet once a month, and we have a women's speaker come. We just started it, and we also do a Bible study.
Right.
And last night we kind of just got together and we kind of needed to vent,
Right.
and I am a very big believer is don't vent to everyone.
Right.
The enemy will use it against you.
100%.
I think you have to have a praying space, have friends that pray for you.
Right.
Like, have people that will get down on their knees and pray for you. Those are real friends. Those are the people that are not using what your hurt and your pain is against you. They're praying for you. They're praying for those faith, fitness,
100%.
finances. They're praying for all of that, your family.
Right.
And they're not looking at it as your success is my disadvantage or,
Right.
oh, good, her life's not perfect. I
Right.
like that,
Right.
because we tend to do that. It makes us feel a little bit better about our own lives. That's just not how it should be. You should remove that spirit of offense, remove jealousy, because jealousy is a bitter, bitter apple to swallow. And so you just have to go in there and be like, what are my intentions in this friendship? Am I giving just as much as I'm getting? And am I praying for you?
I think offense is like the hardest one for me. I'm always speaking. Somebody else may not get offended at all. Because it forces me to question where it's coming from. And then that means that I'm potentially jumping in the ocean at that point. And whatever sharks are down there or how deep it is, like, I don't know, but there's something in there to work on. And that's the hard part, is that it could be my daughter chewing food and I can just like start feeling
Irritated.
Yeah. And it's like she's just eating and like, but it's me. And then I see her, my older daughter, I've seen her do it too to my youngest daughter. And it's like, man, like that's such an interesting torch that I'm passing right now with my stuff, that if I don't clean, that's where it puts the pressure on. Like if I don't clean this shit out,
Yep.
I am going to be in trouble with this girl for the rest of her life, of needing to try and get her to not hold on to things, but then me not do it. And then that's the problem there, is that she's seeing how I'm handling it. And if I'm not doing it, why the heck in the world is she going to do it? She looks at me as her father figure. Like, she tells me she loves me. Like, the stuff that she texts me from her iPad now, she's 9. Like,
so
it's
cute.
the cutest thing in the world. But it reminds me, too, that, like, this isn't a game anymore. Like, they're not 3 years old.
Yep. Your
Yeah.
role is important.
It's so important. Like, if I choose to have a beer or something, there's a price to pay. Because they're looking at the can. They're looking at what context, like, what's going on around.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of habit am I building here? And what kind of man are they going to marry?
Totally. I had to quit. I got totally addicted to vaping. That was
Right.
like my thing. I just one day picked it up, strawberry vape. Those things are the devil.
Right.
And I got addicted. I mean, it was 4 years of me vaping. And then my kids were like, really, Mom? Like, you're going to die. And so I just was like, I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. So I quit. And I've finally, since, New Year's, I don't even have that temptation anymore. I did have to ask God, like, I really need you to remove this. Because it was really difficult. I couldn't do it 100% on my own. But it's like those things, right? And then even my middle was asking me, well, it smells so good, though. I'm like, don't ever do it. Don't ever do it. But for me to sit there and tell him to not do it, I had to tell him my struggle, my addiction to it, and now how hard it's been to remove it. And so we had to have these real conversations. He's 12, so he was able to do it. But I never want them to. It's generational.
Right.
Everything we do is a generational gift or a curse that we pass to our children, just like what our parents have done to us. You hear so many times, I never want a marriage like my parents, or I want a marriage just like my parents.
Right.
You hear these same patterns that go on generationally, and they can either be a curse or a gift. And it's up to you to break them so they do not pass to your children.
Right.
And it's hard. It's not easy. And you have to be diligent in your prayer.
It is. When you said the word it's hard, I noticed that like 3 times already, I've said it's hard for me, which means because I'm speaking to myself that way. Like it probably will be until I change how I think about it or how I say it. And within like my dad passing I'm working on using my words really well right now. The passing at 53. My wife's like uncles are all in their like 50s, 60s, but they like you can tell that they've put their work in on their life and their bodies are feeling it right now. So, which means like going back to this life being so precious that like right now I'm focusing on the longevity of it of like, all right, I'm 36. How can I get another 50 out of this body? That way I can continue to do God's work as long as I can. Because I believe that when you stop being of service, God doesn't need you anymore.
I mean, I think he can use the hard part is that he can use you with you or without you.
Right.
And sometimes he can use death as a blessing.
Right.
And I don't know, it's how long your run is. It could be how much you've done in the run that you've had.
Right.
Because we believe there's another life after this, right?
Right.
We believe that it's more important actually than this life.
Right.
This life is the test.
Right.
So it's really about your mental than almost your physical. And so your physical, God thinks you're beautiful no matter what. He built you that way. You know, it's your temple, how you've treated it, how you've taken care of it.
So we're getting somewhere.
So I mean, I just think that what you think, what you feel is what you become.
Right.
And so it depends on what's important to you. And I say it's hard because it is hard for everyone.
Right.
You're not in it alone. This is a struggle
100%.
that we all as humans and connecting with one another feel at one point in our life. And so it's kind of, again, asking the whys.
Right.
Why is somebody more influential than the other?
Right.
Why is somebody, I feel is more beautiful than me? Why is someone more successful than I am? Like you start to go into these patterns. Or why have they treated their body so bad? Why can't they see what, I see? You can kind of go this back and forth.
Right.
And I think at the end of the day, it's like you seek, you do, then you teach.
Right.
And it is important for you to live a life that you are doing so you can teach. You can't just teach and then not do.
Right.
It's important. And then that is your influence. You're doing it. So then when all of a sudden somebody's like, well, why do you work out? Why do you do this podcast? Why do you believe the way you believe? And they see your life and how it's connecting and how, even when you're going through the trials, you're still seeing the light.
Right.
That's the answer.
Right.
Well, the why. I know when life is hard, I always have a why.
Right.
It's not even a why. I have a rope to hold on to or a lifeboat when I'm in the ocean. When I'm, they always say, oh, we could throw her in the ocean. I know she could swim.
Right.
We all need lifeboats.
For me right now with the podcast it's my voice that I find back that I've lost for so long.
Okay.
That I wouldn't want to go back to that place of not speaking up because it brought resentment. It felt like it brought revenge in life. Like I was trying to hurt people that those teachers or parents or like those things in my life. Like, but in essence, I'm really just hurting myself. Like if I start getting resistant towards a person or pulling away and getting quiet, like that place for me hurts a lot more because not only am I hurting other people with commitments, I'm hurting myself and the 2-year-old, 3-year-old version of me that is so pure and just wants to do so much in the world.
Yeah.
And I'm not fulfilling it because I'm not using my voice.
Yeah. Your
And
voice is powerful.
100%. Every time I push through, I feel this courage that comes, and then I can do it again, and then I can do it again. And then the days get better for me. That's what feels powerful, is that using my voice brings me courage. Courage brings me to my next hard thing that I need to do in my life. And if I can continue doing hard things, then I feel like I'm getting closer to fulfilling my whatever it is I'm supposed to be doing here on earth.
Yeah.
I don't have it written out. All I have is my testimony, the way that I use it, make the connections, and keep doing it over and over until something opens up different.
Yeah. Well, God's really big in the power of your tongue.
Right.
It's a life or death.
Right.
And so that's what I try to tell people. Like, even when you're going through the hardest time, you got to speak life.
Right.
There's so many times where you'll, get frustrated with your kids, right? You're like, oh, why are you doing that? It's so stupid. Or why are you doing this? Or why are you, oh, you're so frustrating. Right. And you've got to realize the power of your tongue. I'm never going to do that. This is too hard. I don't even like that. When you start to say, like, you can change your own mindset by the words that you're using. You can change somebody else's mindset by the words that you're using. What's that saying? Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words can never hurt me. Right. Your words are the most painful and prophetic thing you can say. Right. They can hurt or they can heal. Right. It is so important with what we use our tongue for.
That is the most clearest way I've heard it, that what you seek you shall find, right? And so if you're trying to find the way out of something, you're going to find the evidence there. Oh, yeah. And if also you're trying to find the evidence, just like I mentioned with the courage in the podcast, then I'm going to go find that, so that way I can build over those old stories of not feeling worthy or enough or important. And the tongue, on going back to my kid, on why I said that when she chews, I can feel a certain way when it's just chewing, but at the same time it goes back to me on how I feel about myself. Yeah. And
you want perfection.
100%. That, or the discipline that I never had as a kid, or whatever story. So I'm going back to building evidence that I didn't have it. So then I'm trying to prove that I don't need it. And if I don't have it, then I can start eating whatever I want. And I know that it's hard, but I have to stick to what I committed to, because I committed to treating my body a certain way.
You're disciplined.
I'm disciplined.
And discipline is a powerful word. It's actually the word that I was given this year. I don't really care for discipline. I'm a disciplined person when it comes to my work, and what my word is my word. Right. And I'm very big on what your word is.
That's a good way to put it.
But there's the little things, like working out. I used to be a trainer. I kind of stayed away from it. I got just so busy, that myself and my own feelings and what I needed to do for my own health kind of took a back burner. Right. And so this year I was hearing discipline. Discipline is your word this year, Blaire. I'm like, oh, can I get any other word? How about happiness? Right. How about, financial blessings? Give me something. Right. And he was like, no. It's disciplined. It's time. And it was read my Bible, start working out 5 days a week, eating, watch what's going into your body. Alcohol is poison. Right. It is what it is. And I used to be the type of person, I was a bartender, radio DJ. I lived the life. Right. And when we would go to a restaurant, it wouldn't be what I was going to eat. It was like, ooh, what's the cocktail? Right. Like, I would go to places for the cocktails. Right. And every event I had or party I had, it was all based on the bartending. Right. And there's, nothing wrong. People like to do that. For me, though, the veil has been lifted a little bit. And God's like, I have something in store for you. you need to be disciplined, which means your mind needs to be sober-minded, and I need it to be clear,
Right.
So we can have a more engaging conversation.
Right.
And I had to remove it. I also it's just the discipline in my career, discipline with my family, putting my phone down and being present with my kids, not always having to work, social media and trying to, get more business.
Right.
Business will come.
Right.
I put so much of my trust and my financials with Jesus that I know if I'm struggling, I have to give money away.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, God, I need this deal to go through. I'm really hurting.
Right.
All of a sudden I'll get a phone call. Somebody needs $1,700 or
Right.
$1,500 or $1,200.
Right.
I'm like, where do I write the
Let's
check?
go. Yeah.
So, and then I will pray about it too. I give 10% of my commissions, to a local charity of choices, or I help the client, whatever.
Right.
Money's money.
Right.
Stop making it your God.
100%.
It's so, yes, we like beautiful things. I have a beautiful house.
Right.
I have a great car.
Right.
I'm fine. I have another home.
Right.
I'm not saying that you can't be
Right.
wealthy. But it can't be your idol.
Right.
You can't live this life on what it's going to help you gain in this small world.
Right.
You can't take it with you.
100%.
So if money is your God, you will always struggle with that idol. If you give it, you will be blessed. It says it in the Bible, give it away and you will be rewarded. It is, and it even says to question him on it, to be like, hey, you say, if I give this away, because it's not going to be your idol. It's so hard for us to give money away unless somebody's watching. Oh, look at the charity I've done. Look at this homeless person that I've given to. Now, I'm not saying that you can't. I love when I see people give. It makes me want to give more. I'm not saying anything against it. I used to post all the time about the commission that I was giving until God's like, will you still do it if you're not, praised for it? I was like, ooh, okay. I see you. So now it's like, I keep it a little more quiet.
Right. 100%. That is, it's unconditional, right?
It's got to be. It's got to be a gift.
It's not for the.
It's not even for the charity, to be honest. It's like God will tell me.
Right.
It usually will come up. And there was a little time there that I would think I was having a harder time giving because I had so much going on and I was justifying it. Well, I do pay for their home warranties and I do pay for this. Right. And God's like, but did you still give that money away when you had it?
Right.
I was like, but I really need to make this payment. Do you trust me? But I just had this, flood that happened, or this, my tire went out.
Right.
But do you trust me? Is it your money or is it mine? Is it my gift or is it yours? Are you holding on to it so tight that you will never let it grow? And I was like, dang, okay. And I realized there was some trust issues there. I've got triggers. Do I trust God? Do I trust this person who I believe in full-heartedly, that Jesus died on the cross for my sins and he loves me, that he loves me so much that he wants a relationship with me? I thought, it could be everybody else. Like I could tell you, I could tell the people on the street, Jesus loves you.
Right.
But did I believe it?
Right.
That's been my struggle this year, of really trying to realize and accept this unconditional, pure love that this Jesus has given me. And do I trust him? Do I trust him in everything?
Right.
Finances, faith, family,
Right.
all of the things that you just named about this podcast.
Right.
Do you trust him?
And the true way to show it is in the results of are you doing it?
Are you doing it?
Not saying it, because saying it is only a piece of the puzzle.
Is your word your word?
Right.
Is your word
Following through
and
on
your
it.
action the same?
100%.
That's the key.
That's tough. My youngest daughter, she's so pure about every time we pass a corner on giving whatever we have, in the change department, to a homeless person. And for me, I had a hard time with that because there was times where a homeless person walked by me in a car wash and I told him I do have a couple bucks. Can you wash my car? And he did it. Yeah. But at the same time, I think about granted, I think I proved that he was willing to work for his money. Yeah. But at the same time, also, did you have to do that? You could have washed your car too.
But I think
and
there's
giving them at the same
discernment
time.
in that too.
Right.
Like, obviously, we know that the homeless community and their addictions kind of go hand in
Right.
hand. So I do believe that cash is kind of you can be enabling the problem.
Right.
So go to McDonald's, go get a coffee,
Right.
go get the food that they are asking for. Also, there's so many resources out there too.
Right.
Are you taking advantage of the resources? Tucson, it has the biggest nonprofit community in any district
Right.
there is. I mean, Tucson has the most nonprofits per capita. That is what Tucson is. Tucson is a
crazy.
heart.
That's crazy.
And we are givers.
Right.
So there is so many ways to help the community that
Right.
is needed. So not only does it have to be financial,
Right.
it can be service.
Right.
And giving back. There's
that bridge, that
it's
knowledge.
just a blessing to
Right.
give. It really is. You'll never feel a more surge of
Right.
energy than you are painting houses, for people that don't have one,
Right.
or going and helping educate people that have feel that they're not worth your time.
Right.
There's just so many ways to give. It doesn't always have to be financially. It's really what God's telling you, and you have to pray and ask for discernment for it.
That's what's on my heart right now is like, even like in the male prison community and stuff like that, like building evidence for myself. Like, is that like, I don't know if that's a route for me, but I know that I have such a testament that I can share my story and just see how it works. Like, I don't know the answer because I haven't done it. I haven't spoken to enough people.
Yeah.
The community I get right now is like the rough kids in my wrestling class. Like, those are the people that I'm blessed with right now. And I'm just cherishing that because that can lead to, all right, if I can connect with the kids, and I can connect with adults. And I think that the kids are still shapeable. So I have like an a route that's working for me. I don't want to say an easy route because it's still tough. But
Kids are hard.
Adults are conditioned and like stuck in believing, because I've done it for so long, right? That like reconditioning that or causing them to think. Like, that's the idea, is to cause some kind of awareness or just shake up the pattern that's already been there.
Yeah.
And maybe that's it for me. Maybe I'm not like supposed to change their lives completely, but see it, share it, and they go do the rest of it.
Something that I had to learn being a people pleaser.
Uh-huh.
You are the seed, not the savior.
Right.
So you can't save people.
Right.
That's Jesus' job.
Right.
You are the seed.
Right.
So you plant.
Right.
When it's on your heart, you plant.
Right.
When it's in your mind, you plant. You plant and pray.
Right.
Those are the biggest things.
Dang.
I try to save so many people, and then I felt rejection.
Right.
Or I just wasn't doing it right, and I just didn't understand why the outcome wasn't happening. And I got a very clear message one day, and it was like, why are you trying to save people? What? You're not Jesus.
Right.
I am. So be the seed. Sometimes you're just a little plant. You're just doing what you're doing here.
Right.
You're just maybe you have a smile on your face.
Right.
You're opening up a door. It could be the simplest of things.
Right.
And you have no clue what your impact will be at the end of the day.
Right.
So just keep being the seed.
Right.
That's all you have to do.
100%.
And that will grow his number.
That's crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, man, I don't know what these things do. Sometimes I just go with what's on my heart. We started this conversation, and it has the way that you can explain things, the power that comes out of your voice, like
Thank you.
it connects deep. And going back to what you just told me, I feel the same way, is that who knows what this message is supposed to be for somebody else, but for me, like, I received openly, like my hands are open underneath the table versus like clenched, like, and I am receiving words and what's coming out, and it gives clarity. And it's like, man, if I wasn't in the environment that we're in right now, if we were at an open house and we were talking for something like that, like at an event, would I receive it the same? Like, no, like God brought it together now. Like, this is the moment for it. So thank you for being who you are, being open, vulnerable, all the same, because it works for me. And the way that I continue to use this platform, it is like spot on. And I have no idea sometimes, like it could come in here and just be like arguing about something or something like that. And it's not.
Yeah.
It is like, it's trust. And it goes back to sometimes like moments like right now, like I continue to trust, and it continues to pay off. of like, all right, if you keep trusting me,
Yeah.
it's going to work.
I
So
think that's a little gift you got.
that was it.
Keep doing it, keep going. And it's not really about you at the end of the day.
Right. Right.
So keep receiving the blessings,
Right.
stay firm in that word,
Right.
and be the seed.
Thank you for sharing today.
Thank you for having me.
My word.
This was a blessing.
Look at Blaire, just blaring it out right now.
It's a little different when you are like tapped into the Holy Spirit,
100%.
So
100%. Did not anticipate that, and I am so grateful that today lined up for a reason.
Me too. I was like, ooh, I want to be on this. Let's
Go.
get this going.
Let's go. That was powerful.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Well,
Thank you for sharing.
You're doing amazing work. So
Man, I'm just going to take that right there and keep planning. That's it.
keep planning. Keep planning. I love it.
Yeah. Good
Well, thank
deal.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Blaire, right in front of me, getting it. She's getting it. If somebody needs to find you, where
Yeah.
can they find you?
Well, I'm getting a new website, but you can find me on Instagram as Blaire Lomett-Mathias, or you can find me as Happy Mommy Realtor and urbanoakpartners.com. We are always throwing nonprofit little fundraisers for local families, and still doing the real estate thing.
Yes, getting after it, doing God's work. I think, like, for me, as far as the real estate works, it's an opportunity to give somebody the chance to build a home, which I think is so powerful. You can pray there,
It's
you can
a
eat there,
gift.
you can
Yeah.
go there. Like, it is, I think everybody deserves the opportunity to try that,
Oh, yeah.
get after it.
I think before I go, I did struggle, like, God, is this the place that you want me at? Because
Right.
I am so wanting to really dive into where He is.
Right.
And sometimes the real estate world's not really where that's at. You
100%.
see a lot of ego and greed there. And I had a long conversation if this was my place. And he's like, when do you talk to me the most? I'm like, in my car. He's like, what do you pray the most about? My clients and over them, their homes.
Right.
And he's like, you're constantly talking to me.
Right.
He's like, so through this real estate, you have grown with me. And I realized, okay, this kind of goes hand in hand. Because whether you believe or not, I'm praying over your house. I'm praying over your family. I'm praying over you. I'm praying over the negotiations. I'm praying.
Right.
So you don't like it? Sorry, I'm still praying for you.
Man, do you see what I'm talking about? Like, it's affirm after affirm after affirming. Like, that is it. Like, when I pray for challenges, where do they come from?
Yeah.
Doing loans, like figuring that stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
And where does it prevail? Like, when that person gets their keys and the high five. Like, as much as I want to run from it, it's like you have to run to it and go through it. Like, that is, when you get to the other side of that, the feeling of knowing that they'll never know what it took to get to that other side.
Oh, yeah.
And you did that with your hands. And it was just God shining through. And
Totally.
if it's to be, it's going to happen.
Yep. He can make miracles in the tiny things just as he can in the big.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it.
There you have it. Bye, guys.